chat right now. We've got
different. So there's a lot of sound, there's a lot of noise.
Why is everybody in slow motion?
Without further ado, let's bring on Chris. But without further ado, let's bring on Lori. Happy Thursday, everybody. It is another monthly edition of Growin Buds. Thank you for coming in. We have our good friend Mike, 420 Things, joining us, along with our CEO, H. Welcome to the show, gentlemen. Welcome back. How's everybody doing?
Excellent. How are you, Kurt?
I'm fired up, as usual. It's almost spring, man. It's like my favorite time of year because there's so much hope for summer and winters as far as it can get, you know?
Your camera's crisp. I can almost see the 3D printed lines on that massive bud clip behind you over there.
Yeah, this is a fan favorite for sure. We haven't added these to our product offering yet, but I'm not sure. Let me know in the chat if you think they would sell. If you want to grow really big plant. Yeah. This is for outdoors only, actually, just outdoors.
It's for the outdoors California growers that grow like all year long, those 20-foot plants.
Yeah, well, it was funny. We went to Niagara College to see how the original bud clip study was doing, and we were just kind of brainstorming different content ideas. And I was like, I need like a paperweight or something, like a bud clip paperweight or like trophy for my desk. And I was like, can you make me like a giant bud clip? But like I didn't specify how giant I wanted it. And then like 3 weeks later, H is like, yeah, I ordered a bunch of yellow plastic, and 36 hours of 3D printing later, we had this. So had it since then, and yeah, it's an attention grabber. I think we got to bring it. We should ship it to Germany before the trade show and have it in the booth. H, actually,
it's actually not a bad idea. Mike, are you going to Germany for Mary Jane?
Listen, me and the wife were talking about it multiple times, and we really wanted to go. But listen, man, Toronto's Toronto's got a lot of flights. Ottawa has way less flights. And I was talking to a buddy who lived in New York City, and he goes, dude, there's a flight every hour going that way. You know what I mean? So it's like, I was looking at things and I'm like, you know what? Maybe next year. I think this year is just not in the cards, but I want to go. There's no doubt about it. Looks like a good time.
No, right on. Yeah. We'll be there, and we'll send you, we'll have some for you.
Yes.
Yeah. It's the old bucket list, items. I think like going to Cannabis, we've only done it once, but like that was a good bucket list one. I've been to Vegas a few times, and obviously MJ BizCon was one we had to cross off, but I'm definitely more excited for Berlin than I was for the second MJ BizCon. So
it was a wild time last year. I think it's going to be even bigger this year, so it should be exciting.
Yeah, H was there last year, and then this year we're gonna have a little spot in a booth, actually, not our own booth, but at least we'll have like a little home base to camp up at. So
that's right.
Nice.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be nice to just be able to go see the show and then have somewhere to put our bags and just like rest for a little bit, eat some food and then go back to it. So it's gonna be nice to meet the German market. It's actually impressive how many Germans speak English.
Mm-hmm. It's funny, ever since we started selling to this distributor, I've seen more and more YouTube content creators that like all the captions are in German. They're very passionate about it. They're very into plant training as well. So that's super exciting for us. And I'm pretty sure you can't buy from dispensaries there. It's all home grow, right, H?
That's right. Yeah, only 3 plants per person. They have what they're called clubs, and they can only have up to 500 patients per club, and then they can grow the cannabis for the people. So you could say they're an advanced medicinal grow almost with lots of plants. But that's basically the biggest limit, right? Even those people, they're probably not training their plant as much, but they could be doing a little bit of LSD, some trellis netting, something along those lines, right? So it's a very young market. The population of Germany is actually almost 3 times or 2.5 times population of Canada. They're like 80 million people there. We are at 34, 35 here, right? So it's a big country, and there's definitely going to be a lot of developments there, you could say. But they're taking a different approach than here in Canada, right, where they legalized it for home growing right away, but also they were trying to sell it online. It took a long time for all of those kind of further steps to come into place and be able to actually just go to the store and buy it, right? So now also apparently the government that came in is more conservative, so they're not pushing anything too much forward anymore. So it's kind of like going to stay at that home growing for a while, right? So I guess the home growing culture there is going to end up naturally becoming big, and people are just going to become good at growing. They might not ever go back to or go into buying the legal stuff once it's out, right?
Yeah, that's true. Well, it's interesting the difference between how Germany's done it and the few states that the US has legalized in, because it would seem like the lobbyists won in the US because the bigger corporations kind of got an avenue to make some money. And of course, the tax revenue, I'm sure, was very important. So I like Germany, you don't have those big companies making money and generating that tax base from the sales either. So seems like they made that law specifically because the people wanted it, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's actually been this year is going to be 2 years already since it's been legal there, I think. So time flies too. It's going to be a pretty well developed market. I'm curious now which next big country in Europe is going to go legalization, right? So it would be interesting to see. Spain is pretty much decriminalized. You can still have, I think, up to 3 plants at home without, going to jail. But I'm pretty sure they could take it away if they raided your place. It's not like, oh yeah, you have this right, you can have these plants, right? Brazil actually just decriminalized in 2024 as well, where you can have up to 6 plants and then you're not going to jail, but they can also seize that and you can have up to 50 grams of cannabis on you without going to jail. The reason why they did that is because people were going to jail for having very tiny amounts. Some people with the larger amounts weren't going. It was based on the demographic and how rich you were, how poor you were. So now they defined it by the amount. Like, it doesn't matter how rich or poor you are. If you have 50 grams or less, you're not going to go to jail. We're going to take it away. And if you're planting 6 plants or less, we're not going to put you in jail. We'll take it away, right? So it made the industry there, like for growing, go crazy. Like over the last 2 years, it's been really booming the market there. Last year, apparently they had a trade show with 50,000 people in Sao Paulo, which is about the size of Mary Jane.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So it's
Mary Jane gets 50,000 people through there.
Yeah, 50,000
Wow.
people. I mean, over 3 days, right? So not like 50,000 people in the single day.
Okay.
Just like when they claim those numbers, it's always over the whole event. How many tickets they sold, basically, right? So they sell full like event tickets. They sell 1-day tickets here, 1-day tickets there. So
right.
Counting everything, I think last year Mary Jane was 60,000 or something like that. So I don't know what it's going to be like this year. I'm getting those numbers from hearsay too. I didn't actually get the stats, you know what I mean? But I feel like, but Brazil, Germany, like Brazil has 200 million people. It's twice or 2.5 times bigger than Germany, like 6 times bigger than Canada. You know what I mean? So
I did not know Brazil was that heavily populated. That's amazing.
Yeah. I think 210 million or something like that. It's pretty. Yeah,
that's close to the US. Like that's, yeah.
Yeah, US is 330. Like US is, I'd say, a third big or 50% bigger rather. Brazil is 2/3 of the size. But yeah, it's definitely heavily populated there, right? Compared to the other countries in South America as well. So yeah, it's interesting to see these kind of like dominoes getting knocked, all countries legalizing. There's always going to be those countries that never do. Just like there's going to be states in the US. There's like still dry counties in the US where people don't even drink, and it's been legal since 1910. So there's definitely going to be those places that don't, but I feel like now the wave is really pushing toward that way. So let's see where it goes. You're gonna love it in Germany, Kurt. It's gonna be very different than. It's actually gonna be not very different than what we saw in Vegas, but pretty much a combination of Spannabis and Vegas, I think, is the best way to put it. Because Spannabis, it's more about the consumer. Everybody is just like smoking outside, having fun. There's tons of trailers and food from and drinks. And Vegas, for Mary Jane, it's completely business. Actually, this last year, everybody was pissed because they didn't allow them to smoke outside after like half of the event, right?
Yeah,
So that was
definitely frustrating.
I know. I know.
Luckily, Blazy Susan came to the rescue.
Oh my God. I
So
know.
we're forever indebted into them. Mike, did you end up hitting up that trailer that we told you about?
We didn't. We just went outside. I mean, it was whatever. But no, I think some of them hit it though. But yeah, no, should have. There was one at the place too. We went to some place after party, something out, and I don't even know where it was. But they also had a camp, but like one of those cool buses. I didn't see that bus. Probably one of them cool buses. You know what I mean? Tour
Just
buses,
remember,
right?
like we were going outside. I can't remember if you were with us that specific time, like when we found out that they weren't allowing people to smoke outside. And I just remember going outside, there was nobody smoking. And I'm like, what's happening? Like, is this just like downtime now? Like nobody's here. And then we went to a table and I started pulling a joint, and the guy eating, he was like, man, they're like getting everybody kicked out of here or something like that. It's like, no way. And I couldn't, I was in denial, right? I was like, okay, I'm not going to do it right here because there was a security guy right there. And I saw some people smoking, but every person we crossed, they were smoking cigarettes, not like smoking actual weed. And that's when we're like, shit, we actually can't be here. But Blazy Susan, yeah, a huge shout out, Mike. He was like this wicked trailer, man. It looked like an alchemist, like thing full of lights and full
It was
of.
supposed to be like a spaceship.
Yeah, it's
nice.
And it was just pure smoke in there. Like you could even see the smoke coming out of their roof. You know what I mean? Like from the outside, it was hilarious.
But it looked like it was like a fog machine, and then you go in and you're like, oh, okay, there's no fog machine in here. And it was a nice glass piece too, like had a couple honeycomb perks in there or something like that.
And I remember we were like just putting this tiny little bit of weed that we had left, you know, trying to like ration between Julian and Kurt and I. And then this guy's like, oh, you can just have this, just handed us like this. He had a bunch of sampler joints, and then we just had a whole joint. This most of had massive bowls each one. It was great.
Well, yeah, and it was like halfway through going through that one section of like the consumable side where it's like papers and all that stuff. And so anyways, we're only halfway through going back and forth. And listen, I've been a consumer of, this plant since I was 19, like daily consumer, but I still like just flower gets me sometimes, especially when I'm in a different setting and it's very potent stuff that I've never had before. So it was like 5 minutes later, we're walking and I just like looked over at H and Juliana and I was like, I am in a different universe right now. Like if I just have a blank look on my face, like just know I'm riding this out right now. So it was good stuff. And speaking of that, like with Berlin, like I'm excited because there's not probably going to be those different sections because it just doesn't make sense for a country that doesn't have licensed producers or dispensaries to have a manufacturing set up. Like you wouldn't expect those big companies to be there. It's going to be all about the home grower, right?
No, they still had a lot of stuff like that, man. It's crazy. I don't know if it's, people who are lobbying for government, they know what the law is going to be in the future or whatever. They're just, or maybe they're producing medicinally, because Germany does have, I think, medicinal cannabis like licenses, which could be different than what you get at the clubs. You know what I mean? The clubs, I think, is more of a recreational thing with the 500 plant limit. So there could be a market there. But when I went, no, there was a full B2B side of things. And the big brands were there, Futurola and all of those. Like, so Mike Tyson went there. Like he did 5, different companies, just like he did at Mary Jane the year before. So there was definitely a big size or a big chunk of it for the B2B side of things. Not so much on like packaging, for example, right? Because packaging is something that you need the retail markets to be open already. So I guess if you look at it from that side, right? I can't really recall. I didn't spend much time there, but there was tons of seed companies, because we were selling seeds there, right? Seedsman was there selling seeds. All of the big companies were there selling seeds. There was tons of the companies that sell consumables that were there as well. And then you had the B2B side, but it was definitely more busy on the B2C side. And then outside, there was just tons of big tents and food and beverages. And you couldn't buy cannabis directly, but you could like give some cash here, get a ticket, and then exchange the ticket over there. And then, somehow that was okay. So
tickets, who's got tickets?
Yeah, you can still manage to score, and this year is probably better for that.
We should probably cool down on the buzzwords because as of 3 minutes ago, we just got kicked off of Facebook. So that's great.
Oh,
Oh.
they kick
Just
us out.
just
Wow,
the
they're
live
doing that
stream,
fast.
not our whole account. But yeah.
That's crazy how
Anyways.
Facebook
So
is
silly.
getting that train as well. Eh?
It's so annoying. That being said, most of our audience is on YouTube. Welcome the 3 people watching from X and our favorite solo viewer on Twitch,
Right
which
on.
I'm convinced is Mike, but maybe isn't
It's
Mike.
not. I know.
Okay.
I don't have Twitch open. I don't have it open.
Anyways,
Mystery
Mike, you
Twitch
just harvested a plant with some seeds. You want to tell us a little bit about that? Last 2 weeks ago, you weren't there, but Scott came back on and we had like another follow-up. I found out my plan to reverse my female clone and then pollinate another clone of that same strain wouldn't make an F2, which is kind of disappointing. I thought that's kind of
Okay.
how it would work, but it's like an S1 F1, or I don't even know if we got to
Feminized F1? Yeah, feminized F1.
Gotcha. Yeah, because it's
okay,
feminine.
there you go.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what he said, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, I don't know, because yeah, maybe it is just feminized F1. To be honest, Mike, I've had so many females from your seeds. I feel like they're already feminized, so
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny, eh?
Yeah, I had a low amount too. I had a decently low amount too, but I mean they were definitely male to female.
Shout
the
out
one
to
that I
Jen
just
Money
did.
1 before you get into this. This is our Twitch viewer right here. Jen Money
Yeah.
1.
There you go.
Oh, yeah,
See?
Jen. There you go.
See, this
Yeah.
is-
Okay, so go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
Yeah. I was the plant. So I listen, I put a 2x4 off to the side and I did a round 2. I did your cut, Kurt cut, CC of the of it, and I did it against the male that I got out of the X amount that I started. And I looked for the structure of the plant that I wanted to try to lend more to the genetic side of this next version, and I did it. And I just had the male in a pretty shiny bud cup, and I put a dripper in there, and I had a dripper in the other plant, and I put the female in, and I did F2s. And once it started to have enough pollen, I just stopped watering the plant, and like I didn't open the tent once because I didn't want the pollen to get to my other tent, right? So I had this like sock in, like I rigged this sock with duct tape and inside of my stuff. So I had a full flower run going of a different strain going through hunting, to try and find the one for the F2s. And none of them got seeded. So it worked, you know what I mean? Wetting it and all that stuff. But I just pulled it out, and I pulled out a branch. It's just a small plant, right? Like it's in a 2x4, but frosty is all get out, but literally a branch from the bottom. It was maybe, I don't know, 8 inches, and it had maybe, I don't know, 2 smaller buds because it was kind of like off to the side. And I broke it all up because it dried off because it was on its own, and it dried up faster. And I could not believe how many freaking seeds came out of this thing, man. And it's just like, I have 10 more, 12 more, like bigger branches than this one. So it's like, I'm probably going to get well over 2, if I were to just go more than 2,000 seeds off this little.
I have the video here, so I'll share it so people can see how small this branch actually is. Boom.
Oh, that's the one there that you had that many? Wow.
210. It is, and these are just super small, just all seeds though. Like it was not making that much bud at all. They were a lot of seeds. So 210.
Wow.
And that's like a normal piece of parchment paper. So it's, it's puny, just like this, like not. I'm gonna have so many.
The reveal video was pretty funny here. Let me share that as well.
Oh, did you get the video? Did you get the audio or no?
He likes to. Let's see. Can you hear that?
All right. So there's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 seeds. That's a fair bit for a small little branch. Oh, wait. 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140. Wow, 140. That is also a lot. 150, 160, 170, 180, 190, 200, 210, and some of the immature ones. So 210 seeds off a very small branch. Breeding, baby.
So that's concerning because I put a full female plant in a 2-gallon bud pot, which is probably 2 feet tall now with like, I mean, that branch probably times 20 into the 2x2 tent with my reversed male. So yeah, I'm going to have quite a few seeds. H, we don't need to get seeds from anybody for a while.
No,
How
I
about
know.
that?
Just grow that forever.
It's
And they're gonna be
crazy how
feminized.
many you
They're
get.
gonna be feminized.
And the only problem is though, is like I'm just gonna get bored of that strain before I get through 30 of those seeds, probably. You know.
Yeah, you'd have to
Yeah,
Yeah.
one branch.
a lot. Yeah, for
One
sure.
branch is more than enough.
Yeah. Maybe we got to do get
That's
one of the bigger
incredible.
pots, Kurt, and just plant like 4 season 1 pot and do like 16 of them with 4 pots. You know, do a little
Yes, we'll
sea of
start doing
green.
things that we tell people not to do.
Exactly.
because we have
Do
the
the-
seeds. Yeah.
You're gonna
Yeah,
get some good
but-
comments on social for growing multiple plants in one pot. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
we
and
can
listen,
just
if
do
you
the
want to make
same thing.
seeds, you could do this in a 2x2. Like that's where I plan on doing.
Yeah.
Moving forward, that's all I need, man. Something small like that little setup with that sock where it blocks the pollen and I'll do it right here, man, and be able to just check on it and whatever, because you can put 2 cups, you can put 2 of these on one of like something that catches water, put a little dripper from Amazon in there, and away you go, man. That's your breeding right there, next generation, you know. So
Yeah.
Mhm. So exciting news for the BudTrainer content team. We just got a new camera. So I remember when I told you how frosty that Kurt's cut was, and I'm like, "Oh man, check this out!" And you're like, "Oh, cool, man, cool." And then when I actually gave you some of the stuff physically, you're like, "Man, your camera sucks. Like this is way better than it showed up." Right? So
yeah,
let me see if I can pull this
you
up.
got a new camera. I like it.
I took a picture,
Uh-huh.
so that looks a little bit nicer now, eh?
There we go.
And what's that?
That is the mother plant that I flowered of the Kurtz
Okay.
cut. This is the mother
Nice.
of the clone that you got right there.
Yeah.
So, anyways, it looks a little bit nicer. I zoomed in, and I don't think you can maybe see it, but in the center, in that little black hole, there's a hair.
I see it.
Yeah. So that's the problem with really nice cameras. It's just going to expose. I have a cat, a dog, a wife with long hair, and a baby now too. So it's probably not even mine. I'm just going to say it's not even mine. But
Just gotta go on Canva
point
and
is,
do the little magic eraser
yeah,
tool and get rid
magic
of
eraser. Yeah, but it's just going to expose how not what's it called, sanitary my grow space is. It's not fully airtight and contained.
There's nothing wrong with burning a little cat hair while you're smoking a bowl, you know, if anything. Gets
Yeah,
you.
I mean it's a personal supply, so
There we go.
there you go. H, you got a
Buzzwords.
clone of you got a clone off of you got a clone off of that mother plant. Do you want to show it real
Yeah.
quick on your phone cam there? You can add it in.
Let me
And then
join.
I can actually if you guys can manage the conversation for 3 seconds, I can come downstairs with my second phone and show you the mother, or sorry, the female and the male getting it on in my 2x2 tent.
Well, you're doing 2x2 as well. Yeah, that's more than enough room, man.
Yeah, I mean, originally I was going to put the male in its own 2x2, and then just when it had pollen, shake it over the female in a different 2x2. But then I popped a bunch of seeds because we got this new camera to make more content with. So I ended up putting veg plants in there. H with the selfie mode still. I like it. There you go.
Oh, there we go. I better switch it, right? Okay.
Yeah. Not that you're ugly or anything, but
So yeah,
H
here
is
it
doing a full LST on this.
Yeah, this is a full LSD that I did starting with bud clips all the way. So never really used the bud huggers on it. So I started with one
Can
bud
you
clip.
tilt your phone sideways?
Oh yeah, I can. Is that better?
There we go.
Okay, sweet. So yeah, so it started with one bud clip right here, and then got another one there, and then this branch from here all the way to here literally grew like this. It didn't go back up, so I didn't have to add any bud clips up until here, which is a third one, and then this is the fourth one here and the last one. I can actually remove this one here. I'm actually not going to do it because I'm making a video of it, so I'm going to save it for that. But this one here is already pretty knuckled, and I've already been flowering this plant for a week and a half, so this one is not going to go much farther from here. And as you can see, it's pretty flattened out. I did a defull before switching it, and then the problem is I switched it to flower a couple of days after, and then I went on a trip for a week. So I pretty much watered it, like soaked it heavily. I have a pump down here that was pumping 4 minutes a day, and here's the nutrient mix that I have. But when I got back, it was bone dry. Didn't pump any of the water through for a whole week. The plant wasn't droopy yet, but I was probably a couple hours away. So I watered it right away, and it picked up again. But it just didn't grow very much for that week because it didn't have much water. It had just switched to flower, and also reduced the temperature in the house while we're gone. So that probably had an effect as well. But now, since I watered it and we got back, she's just going. Like, she's growing fast now, Mike. And this one here is going to be the second one of that strain of yours, that of the freeze-dried donuts that I'm growing. But this one came from Kurt. So,
okay, so the first one you did from seed, and this one's the clone.
Actually, Kurt, the first one that you gave me from Mike.
It was, yeah. So when I popped the freeze-dried donuts, I popped 3 of each, that and the Biggs donuts. And because they all became female, I had my backup plants, which were FD3 and the other one, number 3. So my plan was to flower them eventually, but because the Kurtz cut ended up so great, I was like, I don't need these. H needed a plant, so I took one clone from the number 3 because my number 2 wasn't ready to be cloned yet, and gave him one of those. So he just grew a different pheno of the freeze-dried donuts the first time. Again, came out super frosty, but like this one, H, you will see trichomes on every sugar leaf by day 21.
Nice. No, that's awesome. This one is not quite ready.
Yeah, I know a guy who's growing some right now, and he's that's where he's at. He's at that phase, and he doesn't do a lot of graining. He does a lot more defoliating, and it's like he schwazzed it, or however you say that technique, where you take every single damn leaf off. There he is. He's in the chat.
An aggressive lollipop.
Yeah, no, but it wasn't him. It was his significant other, and she got fired, apparently.
Gotcha. Well, speaking of defoliation, I have a little how-to video coming out Saturday morning at 10 o'clock on the BudTrainer channel. It's shot from our new camera, so the quality is great. Ignore my novice lighting mistakes, because as I look white already, but I put way too many lights around way too close, and my whole arm just like went translucent white. So, you're gonna burn some battery with the extra white that your screen's gonna be putting off. If you need like a flashlight, just put that video on and like flip the screen around, and
it's only for the first few seconds. After that, it's it got adjusted. It was pretty good. That's the thing about new cameras, right? You get a new camera, and then you got to figure out the lighting, and then it's one thing after the other.
Yeah, well, and like it's a purpose-built camera. It's not an iPhone, so I think the iPhones do a great job at automatically adjusting for lighting and stuff like that. You don't have to touch any settings, but because these are more advanced and most users want to be able to set those settings, I definitely overdid it just a little bit, but
we're dialing
we'll dial it in. We'll work on it. So yeah, if you guys want to chat for a second, I will go show you the male and the female in the 2x2, and we can get a quick look at that. I'm just gonna add this screen up for now, so bear with me for a minute or two, and I'll be
all right. Sweet, Mike. I noticed you have some bud cups on your mic over there.
Yeah, you like that? I listen. I did that last week, and then I did this. And I was like, all right, it's getting like I obviously put it up here, but it was always like that. I'm like, okay, that's overkill, and this probably
Yeah.
sounds funny, you know what I mean?
Right.
Take off the
Actually,
thing,
the
but
sound changes a lot. Yeah, it's funny.
yeah,
That's jokes.
yeah, yeah. No, I got that box, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah. Let me see where I'm gonna put this. And I was like, yeah, listen, I've got it rigged here with like 2-way tape, and it's like it's still like in development.
right
I'm
on. Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's trying to, yeah. And then I'm like, I need to get like a yellow marker and like color in the lettering, and a black marker and color in the lettering just so you can see it. But
Yeah. You'll be cool.
yeah.
How are you?
I'm in love with your guys' cups, man. They work well, man. And I can tell you, I didn't have enough to do all my cups this last run, and I only used 2, and I did it for a video and a shoot, and then those 2 were the biggest plants out of all the plants in there.
Right
So
on.
I was like, man, you could see them. They were like, not by much, but it was you could tell, and they were all done on the same about day, right? So
Right on. No,
Kurt, your screen didn't go full screen anymore. Oh no.
I'm on full screen here.
Yeah. Switch it up.
Kurt, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Can you see anything or no?
Yeah, we can see
lost
it.
your.
You're on the small screen.
Yeah, because you left with the other one, it switched it to.
I'm on the big one.
Oh, okay.
My big
That's
happy
weird.
face.
Well, that's too bad. I'll
No, but
be back.
we can still see the plant though, but it's just frozen right now.
You know what? It's the internet's down here is not as good, but anyways, they're having a good time together. They went out on a couple dates and decided that they like each other. So
Right on. So they're gonna pop new seeds then.
yeah, I mean, I want to give them their privacy. So we'll,
Have you seen pollen falling from the sacks yet, or what?
So I haven't seen the actual pollen falling out of it, but there were like 3 or 4 sacks on the top buds that definitely pollinated.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, that's good, man. I think based on the size of your plant there and how many seeds that Mike got from that little branch, you're gonna get quite a lot,
Yeah, I mean, Mike, what do you think estimate wise on 2 full plants like that?
It's insane how much it is. Like I thought, like I'm curious to see like how much that is like in a pouch, because I got a lot on all this. Like you want to breed, do it in the bud cup, and you'll again way more than you personally will ever need in one run. Like that's so thousands for sure. Yours has got to be more for sure.
Well, for someone who grows the same strain, they do this once in their life, and then they can freeze those seeds just to like make them last longer, and they'll
give them to your great grandkids.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to buy seeds.
I
ever
mean,
again.
maybe
Give it to all
I'll
your
just go to
neighbors, just go around the neighborhood, just like throwing seeds around their front
I
yard.
was just gonna say, man, like, well, KW is surrounded by farms, so I could just go, before they sow their seeds and find like the biggest cornfield I can possibly find, just cut out all the seeds that they popped in just inside the middle, and boom. But I definitely don't want to hand trim all that. So whoever finds it can keep the end result.
Well, and some people that breed outside, I don't get it. I don't know why you would need. I mean, I guess if you were trying to get more seeds than everybody wanted to have more with, you know what I mean? But that would be so many seeds on an outdoor, like.
Yeah.
I mean, I get the mistakes, and sure they screw up and whatever, that kind of pollination. But anybody who's like, oh, I want to do some breeding outside, I go, how many seeds do you need? Jeez, like. Man.
And those are the people who end up pollinating all the neighbors' plants as well and give everybody seeds. You know what I mean? Like, there's never been a year that I grew outdoors that I didn't end up with some seed in my bud.
Yeah. I can't necessarily pronounce that. J, maybe just straight J. Man, it's been a long day. Jay, which grow store is your local grow store? We are in over 200 retailers, but mostly JP. Yeah, thanks, JP. We might be. We have if you're in Virginia Beach, there's a high likelihood that we are in your local grow store.
like if you go to Google,
Minnesota.
just type in BudTrainer. I think we have a couple of stores in Minnesota. BudTrainer store locator. You can see which stores are carrying our products, and they can go there. And if they're not, they'll place another order for more products, and then you get them as well
for no shipping. You save the shipping by buying from the retailer. The retailer is typically the cheapest place that you can get
it's
BudTrainer
definitely a little bit
products
cheaper at the retailers
as well. Minnesota. I'm just looking at the map here. I know we have one for sure. We have Eco Garden Supply there in St. Paul. And we have Growers Home in Winona. There you go.
Winona.
So two in Minnesota, and that's a newer legalized state as well. I wonder how the homegrown scene is there. VA Beach for sure. Virginia Beach has one of our biggest retailers, Grow Depot, and I think 4 or 5 other retailers. The home grow scene there is amazing.
I've been to that store.
I think it was very. Have you?
Yeah. I stopped on the way back from Florida. Was it 2 years ago? And we pulled in there. There was a bunch of people from the community there, so we stopped in. It was kind of like just a bit out of the way, and then we went a different. We went through a tunnel, and it's like, man, there's this aircraft carrier right there and shit, man. It was cool as a Canadian.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it was some cool stuff there.
Never seen one of those. Yeah, that must be pretty fun.
Big.
Yeah.
Well, a bunch flew over Canada recently, but we don't need to get into that. VA's got a lot of obviously retired military, right? So they use it medicinally, and I think they had an issue with other very hard painkillers that a lot of people were on, and homegrowns kind of replace that for a lot of people, which is fantastic because I've had some of those other pharmaceuticals for injuries, surgeries, and stuff like that, and like it is powerful stuff. So I can see how that could get out of hand quick.
Content came out of Virginia, and that's where like the problem hit really big there, which is really sad, So fortunately, cannabis now is taking over and hopefully making all those companies lose a lot of money because they don't deserve to do what they do to people, you know what I mean? When there's cannabis that can just solve the problem so much easier and better on the body and on the mind, and just keeps people alive,
Yeah,
they just changed the law there too. I think it's like they opened it up even more in Virginia. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, really?
Like
that's
this
cool.
past week or just recently, talking to a couple of people that were at that same store, I think, and that's what they said. It was changing this week. So
yeah, because Virginia for the longest time was also just home growing. Just like in Germany, as we're talking.
Yeah, they got a great charity there, Homegrown for Heroes. We donated some pots to it, but it's a pretty cool program. If somebody wants to grow their own, they help supply some products, and then I think they have a sharing program where people who grow their own already can donate some of their yield for veterans. So definitely something to check out if you're a grower in VA and you got some spare buds lying around, because you train them so well that your yields were off the charts, right?
Exactly.
And if you're not training yet, you can jump into our giveaway and get some BudTrainer gear. What do we want to do for the giveaway today, H?
Let's do a $50 gift card. I think that's what we announced on the email. So yeah, we'll do a nice $50.
$50. Okay, that's a fat gift card. So let me see here. What should we do for the keyword? Mike, any suggestions?
210.
210.
210. The number 210, not 210 spelled out.
You should do two. AND.
And
no. Hashtag 210. Yes. Jen just asked if you have a seller in Germany. I missed your first comment. We do have. Hello, can you link the Bud Clips, the European seller? Yes, I can.
It's bit.ly/BudTrainer Europe or BT Europe, right?
Yes. I'm going to put it right into Twitch for them. BT Europe. bit.ly/BT Europe, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
bit.ly/
That will take you right to them. And they have, I think, the whole lineup.
They
Bud
do. Yeah,
cups,
they
bud
actually just got
pots.
restocked recently. Yeah, they have everything there.
Yeah.
And now a lot more stores are going to start selling it in Germany because you have a distributor there that's selling to the stores, and so there's going to be a lot more availability. But that one right there takes you to the very first retailer that bought from us, and they've been selling BudTrainer for almost 2 years now in Germany.
Got Holy Toledo in the house, who bought the 100 or 540 pack, so a
Right on.
200 pack of blue bud
Amazing.
clips. You must have quite a few plants,
Yeah.
or just
Sick.
love to train. This is why we need more people on Twitch. Like, this is a cool comment. It's like a dude with a thumbs up. That's cool.
There we go. That's a new
Get a
emoji
Twitch
I've never
account,
seen.
people. Yeah. New emotes online. That's fun. Cool. We got 21 people in the giveaway so far. If you want to get in there, just type #210 in the chat. $50 gift card. You can order internationally from our website using that gift card. If you win, there is a
That's
flat
pretty much free
international shipping fee.
Yeah, that pretty much
unfortunately,
makes
it's just
it,
free
'cause-
shipping.
yeah. Wait,
Yeah.
that's still something, you know what I mean? Like, because we do have to
Yeah.
charge $49.99 or $49.90 for shipping international, and we
Yeah.
still always pay more than that. It always ends up being more than that. So it's kind of like
It's
let's
crazy,
meet in
especially
between,
right
but-
now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
especially right now. Just ends up sucking for everybody. But yeah, shipping is just getting expensive for everything.
Mhm.
You have
Hey,
a
are
new
you gonna do
chatter over on Twitch. Did you see that?
a new chatter?
Yeah.
Oh, 420 Things Gaming. Got a
Look
gamer
at-
on the.
Look at my emotes. It's a little hairy emote, dude.
Oh, there you go. H, are you
Twitch
gonna do
is
an
pretty
outdoor
cool.
plant this year? I feel like I asked you this already, but I forgot.
No, not this year because I'm renovating the backyard, so there's going to be so much work to be done there, and the grass is needs a lot of love here, just because it's very clay-based soil, and it was just very sparse already. So I'm going to be doing mostly that, and maybe next year I'm going to have some good space to do a plant and not have to worry about the rest of it. There's a lot of sun in my backyard, which is nice. Like that's a plus over there. So.
Yeah, I got too many big maple trees. But Mike, I'm imagining you're gonna grow some of the freeze-dried donuts in your backyard, or no?
Yeah, I don't know what my next plan is. I have so many.
Do the F2s back there.
I listen, sure, but I want to do 60 or 70 of the F2s inside. You know what I mean? I want to start, I want to do a bunch. That's what I mean. I have so many things, but I have 8 more crosses too. So the next thing is the SDS. I want to make that. And that video that we did there with 2 weeks ago or a week ago or whenever it was with Scott, man, was again awesome. That's my next step. So outside, yeah, my wife's gonna probably do 4 of something, and peppers and cucumbers and everything in the garden. So hot peppers in the greenhouse right beside the cannabis plants they turn out really nice.
Oh, Mike, let us know. We have some of the large 25-gallon pots we could send up to Ottawa for you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. You know what I'm doing this year is because we have to move them from we have a farmer's field in the backyard, and he cuts it, and all the bugs want to come to the greenest plants that are right close, right? So when we see him starting to do it, it's we got to move the stupid plants. So I found a guy who has 3 broken down, he took the motors off of the lawnmowers, and I'm gonna put the cloth bags right on top of the lawnmower with the hole in the middle.
Just move it around. Nice.
Yeah, not have to do anything, man. It's got 4 wheels. I need to find one more because my wife does 4 out there. So it'll just be these little handles everywhere. I can hang stuff on, train it to it too. So I think it's gonna be do some
That'll
cool
work.
stuff.
Yeah. Maybe
You
it'll
got
be the
some
next
creativity
new
out there.
innovation, just
Yeah.
one more carrying pots.
Man, you
Well,
got to
better
build
than
a
putting it on.
trellis frame on it too. There you go.
Yeah. That's what that tomato cage always does in the 25-gallon. A nice big one. It's probably about that big around. It sits there, and it's a very good base for that trellis net.
No, right on.
Somebody in the chat has a 20 by 10 greenhouse that they're going to be growing in. Holy Toledo is right.
20 by 10.
There you
That's
go,
a
H.
good amount of space right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about what mine is, I think. I got it at like Home Depot or whatever. It's like just one of those, like they call them Quebec garages from where I'm from. I don't know what they call. Do they call them that in Toronto or no?
Was that?
I've never heard that term in my whole life. We call
The
them
Quebec garage.
carports.
Yeah, it's Quebec garage is what it is. Maybe it's an Ottawa Quebec thing. We're so close, I guess. I don't know. My dad is from Quebec, and that's what he calls them too. You know what I mean? So I mean, that's what they're called around here.
Got to
But,
hear everything
again,
twice. Once in French and once in English. Every announcement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Cool.
it. You know what's funny about
All right,
Quebec?
30.
And like
Go
in
ahead.
Quebec, they don't allow people to grow at home. It's the only province in Canada that doesn't allow
Yep,
home.
last
It's
one.
kind of crazy. So like, there's a lot of stores there for just selling cannabis over the counter dispensaries, and there's
Which
a lot
is
of medicinal
pretty
growers.
wild too, because like Trudeau's from Quebec, is he not?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and he's
When he
the one that
legalized
was running on the legalization ticket
Yeah.
and all that. So,
Well, the province
anyways,
just opted out, so that's what they did.
yeah. 33 potential winners here, guys. Last chance to get in on the giveaway of a $50 BudTrainer gift card. The winner, please email me at hello@budtrainer.com with a screenshot showing you are the owner of the winning account, along with your email address, which obviously I will get when you email me. All right, let's run this. 33 people. Good luck.
What?
Hashtag
everyone. Let's go.
210. Nobody else. Okay.
All right.
Get your seeds ordered for the summertime. You can probably plant them inside already. Blue Nose grows.
Right on.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I like when
Do they
people
win
grows in their
recently?
name. I don't think so. I don't. Blue
No.
Nose doesn't ring a bell.
For some reason, it looks familiar. Maybe just from commenting in there. So,
Congrats, Blue
Oh
Nose.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, wicked.
yeah. Well, thank you for coming, guys.
Thank you for participating.
Yeah, I'm excited for spring. Like I said before, it's just been kind of gray and rainy. It's the battle of the seasons right here in southwestern Ontario. It's winter and -10 and snowing one day, and then it's like 10 degrees and overcast the next. But I think the spring will win eventually.
Hopefully, yeah. It's been a rough winter, and spring's been well overdue. I was planning on doing some backyard work this weekend, but apparently it's going to be -2 on Saturday, and then Sunday is going to catch up to a little bit. So all the ground's going to be frozen. There's not much I can do.
No, you just want to start cleaning it up right away, right? Get the head start on the outdoor stuff. But cool, guys. Good episode, and yeah, we'll do this again soon. Maybe Mike and I will jump on when my plant starts chucking pollen on the female beside it, and we'll do a quick update to see that. But until then, everybody, thank you for showing up, and we'll see you later.
Next one, guys.
Yeah, have a good one.
Peace.